Hi there, folks. It's Jonathan Denwood here from WP-Tonic. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about private school web design. What kind of website works in 2026 for a private school? What doesn't? What are some of the key things you've got to understand if you're looking for a new website? Got a ton of experience in this area. I'll be back in a few moments, folks. Coming back, folks. So you're looking for some advice about rebuilding your existing website, maybe a major change or a total redesign. But you've got to understand what's really working in 2026. It's the investment. It's a lot of time, effort. But I'm sure you're going to get, if you choose the right provider and you know some basic facts, you can get a fantastic return on investment. Now, let's be frank about it. The purpose of your website is to attract new students, to attract parents that want to put their children into your school. And that is one of its key things that you want it to do. Now, based out on my experience, one of the main factors is, yes, the history of the school is important. Um, really giving indication on, which is difficult on a website. It's one of the factors why you want to utilize video as much as possible, is to give some feeling, essence of why you're different to some of your competitors in your city or in your region. Now, the other factor is you've got to understand that most people are going to be using their phone when they come to your website, and they want information to be really available as quickly as possible. Now, a lot of schools are hesitant about putting their rates on the website, or they basically bury them a bit. Resist this temptation. Really think in the eyes of the parents coming to the website, what kind of information that they are looking for. And it's really placing that information and also comparing yourself to some other schools and doing it in an honest way, what your strengths and weaknesses are. Um, every school has some minor weaknesses and it has its strengths. You shouldn't try and be everything to everybody. You've got to find your voice, your positioning. Now, the other factor is that search has changed tremendously over the last 18 months. And this really comes to constructing some core pages that really meet search intent. Um, Depending, you are probably going to be competing to some extent locally, but you're not truly a local business. You might be, catchment area might be in a city or in an area, but it's probably going to be larger than a true Google service business, a local business page. So there's an element of that, but also you're outside that as well. So good navigation is really important. Structuring your core pages, your hub pages, as I call them, which you feed off other pages to. Basically, also, you're going to get a lot of people talk about, this is a little bit technical, this is called schema, especially around large language models. If anybody comes to you talking about schema, in my opinion, they don't know what they're talking about. Schema will not affect the effectiveness of your website at all. One thing that will affect it, the actual experience and also where it shows up in search, is speed. The speed of the website, how pages load, and how the website is maintained to keep it fast is really important. Now, at WP-Tonic, we still love WordPress because it gives you the much control over your content and over your marketing, your digital online marketing as much as possible. And it's really fantastically flexible. So I'm going to leave it at this point. I've written an article and you find the link in the video description, and I'll go into a lot more detail about all these aspects. And you can also book a free consultation on the WP-Tonic website, and you can talk to me directly. And if you found this video useful, give us a thumbs up, ring that bell, and think about subscribing to the WP-Tonic channel. That really shows that I'm doing something right. I'll see you soon, folks. See you soon. Bye.